Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we are going to review Bad Dreams VR, a game that was recently released out of early access July 24th, 2023. It is budget priced. It normally retails for $12. It's on a release sale 25% off, and I did buy this game on the original early access release. I have tested the game out on the MetaQuest 2 using link cable on my RTX 3080. Bad Dreams VR is a horror game, and I did technically beat the game. It took me about 3 hours. However, I will say that one of the levels was totally bugged for me. However, I was able to skip that level, and I will mention the bug and what happened later on this video, but I don't want to get sidetracked for now. Bad Dreams is running on the Unity engine on my RTX 3080. I was getting mostly 90 frames per second. While I did have some frame rate drops here and there wasn't anything too severe. You do have full locomotion along with smooth or snap turning. You can play comfortably seated or standing. However, you are not able to readjust your height within game, and this may be the cause of the bug that I report later on. You do have slight magnet hands, so you are able to pick up stuff from the ground easily, and you do have button crouch here. There are sections of this game where you do need to sprint, and you will need to move your hands quickly up and down for these sections. There's also some combat in this game, but it's not the focus of the game. You'll be doing either melee combat, or you'll be using Molotov cocktails, or even a flare gun. Honestly, the melee combat in this game is just not very good, but it's not the focus of the game, so I'm not going to criticize it too much for it. There's also some platforming in this game. You'll have to do some climbing. There will be some zip lines as well, and sometimes you have to be pretty quick getting to these to escape the danger. Lastly, there are some light puzzles in this game, nothing too difficult, but honestly, the focus of this game is really on creating a horror atmosphere, and this is where the game really succeeds. This is a scary game. Those of you who follow my channel know that I just don't scare easily at all, but there were several terrifying moments in this game. There were some jump scares in this game, but they were totally earned. There's just a tension throughout while you're playing, and just this oppressive atmosphere throughout this game. Now, obviously this game doesn't have the best visuals in VR, but I think it makes up for it with the artwork, with the creative artist on this game, and setting the right atmosphere just through the hallways that you're traversing. Just the creative set pieces that the developers put together to really increase the horror tension here. On top of that, you have a really solid sound design with good spatial audio and just ambient sounds and music that just really bring the horror experience all together for maximum effect. Now, I wasn't really a big fan of the story here. It seemed a little discombobulated. I really did not understand it all too well. And obviously a lot of the voiceovers were from non-native English speakers, and I just had a little difficulty understanding it. There are some real interesting game mechanics here. Probably my favorite one was the lighter going out if you ran. I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen this game mechanic in a whole lot of other VR games, because it is very terrifying knowing that there's something chasing you and that you want to run, but if you do, your lighter goes out and you'll be in complete darkness. I also like the game mechanic where if you're looking at something terrifying, that you start losing your sanity, and then you have to put your arms on your face and press trigger in order to get out of that bad situation. It really does increase the horror for this experience. So I definitely want to give kudos to the devs for creating this horror experience for VR. A lot of the levels are really well thought out, and you just have a very creepy game that is terrifying to play. Creative VR 3D is a small indie studio based in Cannes, France, so I definitely appreciate the effort they put into this game. They are very responsive on the Steam forums, and they are updating the game. Now, I'm saying all this because the rest of my video is going to be a lot of negatives. So the real big thing, as you might have guessed, is that this is a very buggy game. These devs really have great ideas for a horror game in VR. Very innovative, but their execution was often lacking. I ran into so many bugs that I cannot mention all of them that I ran into. The major one was the game-breaking bug that I mentioned, that I was not able to do chapter 3.3, I believe it's called Mental Maze, and this level is totally bugged for me. I cannot do anything on this level. I cannot even move. I'm stuck in the initial starting spot spot for this chapter. Now, I've been told by the devs, if I understood them correctly, that you are supposed to be inside the vents and crawling on the floor of the vents, but I'm actually on top of the vent, so I'm unable to crawl on the floor of the vents. I do believe it's related to the inability to adjust your camera from within the game, and for some unknown reason, it's only an issue on this chapter versus all the other chapters in the game. Like I said earlier, I was able to complete all other chapters. It's just this one that I'm unable to do, and I don't think I'm supposed to be able to skip this level. I think that's another bug, but I'm not sure on that one. A lot of the other bugs I faced were just items not spawning, and this prevents you from doing the level. Luckily, I was able to just restart the level, and then those items would spawn correctly. I was also able to complete a puzzle in this game, but not doing it the correct way because it was bugged. Basically, there's this elevator with a lever, and I was just able to walk to it and step on the lever and then just exit. I don't think that's the way you're supposed to solve it, but that's the way it worked out in my case. So overall, the game's just lacking polish. A lot of these bugs need to be squashed, and I would definitely recommend waiting for a few updates before buying this game. I will add that a lot of the VR interactions are rough around the edges. I did not like the inventory system in this game at all. Now, I am gonna rate this game a 6 out of 10. I do think I'm being maybe a bit generous, but I do see the developers updating this game, and they have been very responsive to my bug reports, and obviously not just mine but other people's bug reports as well. Seems they are working hard to make this the best game possible, but to be clear, they have not fixed the bug that I show at the end of this video, but I do hope they fix it soon. And I do think a 6 out of 10 is deserved because it is a buggy game and a lot of the VR interactions are very rough, but at the core of this game is a very terrifying horror experience that I enjoyed experiencing, and I think you will too if you're able to look past all the bugs. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of the video.